Good afternoon. It's Friday, January 14th, 2022. This is April Davis PI, and we are here to unbox jewelry jar number 11. Well, here we go. I mentioned in previous videos that it's been very difficult to get Goodwill jewelry jars in the Los Angeles area. This is what I would call a Goodwill mini jar. As you can see, the price is $24.99, but I did receive the 15% Tuesday discount, so I paid $21.24. But typically I get a full-size tall vase. This is just what I would call a mini jar. I've never purchased one before. I've decided that I'm going to have to start purchasing from another supplier, probably online, because the Goodwills in Los Angeles just don't seem to be stocking the jars right now. I look several times a week, but there's just none to be found. Well, unless you want to count the $400 jar, which I will link that video in the top right hand corner. But here we go. This is going to probably be a short video considering the size of the jar. I'm going to actually go through it with you live and see what we have. I really need a different type of camera setup so that the camera can be filming and I can be using both of my hands to untangle the jewelry. So let me adjust this and see what we can do. Well, here we go. Still having GoPro issues, so I'm going to pull out one of my old surveillance cameras out of the closet and see if we can shoot this video once and for all. There's not much in this jar. I'll just lift the camera for a second to show you. There's the pile, and here are some of the necklaces and bracelets. I had a neighbor that donated a jewelry tree last night. So that's the biggest score out of this, is I got my free jewelry tree. It really will help me with videos, but I'm just going to set this camera down and show you some of the smalls. I found a Trifari signed earring. It's probably vintage, but I don't see the mate. There is another mini jewelry jar that I did get from the same Goodwill on the same day, so maybe the mate to the Trifari earring is in the other jar. This appears to be a brooch that's missing a stone. There's a pin in the back that closes shut, but it's empty. So it looks like almost like a ring that loses a stone, but it's a brooch that has lost a stone. I haven't seen that either. Also found a little ring. It's silver tone, not sterling, but a cute little ring. Of course, there's the typical earrings, some matching, some non-matching. This is actually a set. It's just rhinestones, but I could put it in the jar with the sets. I'm starting two jars right now, one with sets and one with single earrings, just waiting to see if I can find the matching mates in other jars. Here's another set right here. They have like little ruby stones on them. I'll have to test them with the jewelry tester, but at least we have two more matching earrings. I've also got this little Lady of Guadalupe. It's a pendant, a gold tone pendant. It's nice, but it's not, you know, real gold. If that was 24 karat gold, we'd be in business here, wouldn't we? We'd have thousands of dollars with the size of this thing, but no, it's not heavy enough. It's not real gold. We've got a rhinestone cocktail ring, missing one of the small little clear rhinestones. It's adjustable, so it would probably fit anybody, but once again, missing a stone. We'll have to put that in the broken jewelry lot. I did find another matching set of earrings right here. They're just glittery, sparkly junk. I shouldn't use that term as much. Also found this. Anything with string or feathers, I have to say, I despise. This is on an earring. I don't know if you would call this the tassel. It's basically blue string. No, we won't be saving that one. There's also two pieces of, it looks like an eagle's wing I don't know what this is. There's two parts to this. The other side, I saw it in the pile here, but it doesn't have a back on it for an earring. It doesn't have a bail on it for a pendant, but there's actually two of these. So I wonder, it's kind of pewter. I don't know what these are from. If anybody can identify this bird's wing, looks like an eagle wing, what do you think this may have been on in the past? Because this is quite interesting. It might actually be something, but I don't recognize it. I'm still a newbie at this if you guys haven't seen my other videos. I do have an evil eye pendant, and it's funny because recently I found an evil eye bracelet that's really nice that would match this perfectly. There's no chain with this, but I have plenty of spare chains lying around, so I'll probably put a spare chain on this and actually make it into a necklace. That's really nice. A couple of other random single earrings, little faux pearls there. That would be really nice if I could find the mate. I also had the typical jewelry jar finds. I found a, what is this called? A safety pin. And I found there's a bobby pin in here somewhere. Reminded me of a day at the beach. Wouldn't be a day at the Santa Monica beach without bobby pin finds with a metal detector. These are everywhere on the beach, but I don't want them in my jewelry jars. Here is a signed Anson. It is a men's tie clasp. I don't think it's real gold. If it weren't kind of corroded looking, I think this would actually be worth something considering that it's signed. Maybe I'll put it in a lot with other tie clasps because there's two more in this jar. That's my rabbit trying to eat my food, if you could hear a bag crumpling. He goes crazy for El Pollo Loco bean and rice burritos, and he will literally have it in the air and all over the floor before I can even get to it. So I had to do a timeout. Let me move the camera and you can see him. He's right there. He's trying to sniff out my burrito. Ableu Kensley. He's a really well-behaved bunny, but he gets very destructive if I bring any food that's in a plastic bag, especially El Pollo Loco bean and rice burritos. So let's get back to where we were. Here is another tie clasp. This is the first jewelry jar where I've actually been finding men's pieces. Other than finding the occasional cufflink, I very rarely find men's pieces in a Goodwill jewelry jar. I wonder why that is. I guess there's not men going down to the Goodwill donating their jewelry. Here's a third tie clasp. We'll have to call this the tie clasp jar. That's really amazing. Only one is signed, but that's very amazing to find 3 tie clasps in a mini jar when I've never even found any before in the first 10 jars. There's just not much going on in the Goodwills lately in Los Angeles. There's the one that's the $400 jar that nobody's buying. I've been calling the store regularly and they don't have any of the jars, and apparently that one is still available. But even if I were a millionaire, which I'm not, I will not invest $400 in a Goodwill jewelry jar with only 184 YouTube subscribers. That's just never going to happen. I could have 1 million subscribers and I don't think I would invest in that jewelry jar, but hey, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Now I'm going to lift the camera up here and I'm going to show you this little jewelry tree. And I put all the little necklaces. There's a little earring and necklace set up here. It's marked JJ Fashion Jewelry or JJ Collection. I don't think it's worth anything. It has a $6.99 price tag on the back side. But yeah, there's a hookah. There's 2 hookah necklaces here. The surfers like to wear them here in Southern California. We see these all the time at the beach with the metal detector. The metal detector usually picks up the clasp. There's actually quite a few bracelets here in the top that are all in good shape. There's very few broken items in this jar, but because of the small size of the jar, there's just not much here. I do like this Lady of Guadalupe pendant. I sometimes will lot up religious items, little crucifixes, crosses, pendants, St. Christopher pieces, any religious piece basically. I'll just put that in a big lot and sell it for maybe 15, 20 bucks. And speaking of $20, my last eBay auction was for a 7-pound, 11-ounce bag of all wearable jewelry. There's over 120 pieces in that bag, and somebody on eBay, I won't say their user ID, but they didn't pay. Shame on you. So now that bag is relisted as a buy it now. Since I am not famous on YouTube, I just don't think it's worth the money to put up items at auction anymore, because that is a dying format on eBay. It's a buy it now with best offer. I'm obviously not going to part with it for $19.99, considering that there are 120 pieces that are wearable. Actually a little more, maybe 122, 123. It was hard to count, but they're all wearable pieces, mostly necklaces and bracelets, just very similar to this jar, but all of the, the broken or damaged parts in jewelry, they were all removed, all the parts. So it's just a wearable jar, and not a jar, but a lot. And since the winning bidder failed to pay in 4 days, they are blocked. They're getting an eBay strike, and now somebody, another, eBayer, there's about 190,000 people on eBay throughout the United States, so somebody will get that, or maybe even one of my viewers can go check that out. I'll link the eBay store in the description of this video. But as I always say, if there's anything you see that turns you on, let me know. Send me a message. My email is in the description as well, and I'll give you guys first dibs. Other than the Trifari earring and the one signed tie clasp, the men's tie clasp, that's the only signed pieces that I found in this jar, which is unusual, but remember, it's only a half-size jar, a mini jar. Well, that is the doorbell calling me, so we're going to sign off for now. Have a good day.
Oh, no. No. We're trying to end this video, but